My partner was unfaithful and claimed I wasn't enough of a guy, as my buddies chuckled. I remained quiet, departed, and created a new existence. They'll never reach it. Today she's penniless, isolated, and pleading for reconciliation. Hello, Reddit. My former girlfriend betrayed me right before our entire circle mocked the situation and figured I'd crumble. I avoided shouting, skipped debating, simply exited. They believed that concluded matters. No. Prior to explaining the turnaround, allow me to begin at the start. I'm Austin, a 27-year-old man, employed as an independent reporter handling community updates and sporadic feel-good tailies. Compensation isn't impressive, yet it covers essentials, and I've been gradually submitting to larger outlets, aiming for a stable position eventually. Composing has forever been my passion. Phrases flow smoother than casual chit-chat. Daisy and I dated nearly 3 years. Encountered her in a bookshop during university days. She examined the verse area, plopped on the ground, perusing Sylvia Plath. I offered a silly remark on how Ariel ranked as the gloomiest volume for a bright afternoon. She grinned, agreed I might be correct, and we wound up fetching Java afterward. That sealed it. We connected swiftly. In those times, she mentioned appreciating my reflective nature, that I avoided being boisterous or perpetually seeking spotlight, unlike certain fellows she encountered. She'd deliver meals during my tight schedules, review my outlines prior to editor submissions. We lacked flashiness, but it seemed authentic. During the recent year, dynamics altered. She began socializing with pals more frequently, stating she required existence beyond our duo. Reasonable. I stayed occupied pursuing reports, attending municipal gatherings, composing deep into evenings. I assumed the gap represented maturation. One Friday evening, our social crew assembled as usual. Identical modest spot with worn seats and tasty potatoes. Included Ben, my nearest companion from school. Maya, witty yet enjoyable. Chris, reserved fellow who avoided choosing factions, plus a few more. Daisy sported my coat as customary when forgetting her own. We requested meals, discussed jobs, films, miscellaneous topics. Midway, Daisy coughed to gain attention. I believe now's suitable for truthfulness, she announced, audibly enough to silence chatter. The group hushed. She stared directly at me. I've been disloyal, she declared bluntly. I stayed mute. Simply observed, she reclined, grinned slyly. I required a genuine male understand, as if this constituted a spectacle and I ought to erupt for spectators. Ben lifted his drink. Brutal, he remarked, smiling, yet truthful. I admire that. Others chuckled uneasily. Maya nodded as though anticipating it. I merely remained seated. No outbursts, no inquiries. Then Caleb entered. He's the individual she strayed with, employed at a tavern, noisy. Constantly shares tailies of effort and ambition, but primarily focuses on self. He patted Ben's back, acknowledged Daisy as if fitting in. That's when I understood they likely all were aware. One fellow present withdrew his device, began filming as though this merited preservation. I rose, seized my keys. Daisy grinned again. You're simply departing? I gazed at her, then Ben, then Caleb. No one appeared ashamed. No one halted me. Exiting, the server, elderly man who'd witnessed our bunch their countless occasions, leaned across the bar and whispered, "Depart. Allow achievement speak on your behalf." I offered no response, simply exited. Following daybreak, my device overflowed with alerts. Group conversation exploding, folks circulating the clip like a game recap. I removed the discussion, restricted Daisy, Ben, all who snickered. I avoided blocking calls. I simply desired absence from my timelines. Passed the day in my flat. Consumed little, composed 0 words, merely sat contemplating how rapidly individuals can betray you. By dusk, I retrieved a journal, noted 3 items. Cease independent minor tasks. Submit to major venues. Improve fitness. Construct an authentic profession. Not merely gigs that scarcely cover housing. I disregarded vengeance. I simply rejected being the person they ridiculed. 2 days afterward, I enrolled in a reporting seminar at the local school. It cost substantially, yet provided genuine links to publishers. Monday dawn, I submitted a land use report for a minor publication. Ben and Daisy remained quiet. Chris messaged, "Wish no resentment exists, buddy." I disregarded it. That identical week, my vehicle failed en route to a meeting. Gearbox failed. I sold my initial quality lens to manage housing and transit costs. Following session, the teacher, a former publisher called Mr. Reed, halted me. "Why reporting?" He inquired. "Required transformation," I replied. "Then commit fully," he advised. "Create something undeniable." By week's close, I lacked a vehicle, minimal funds, but ultimately a strategy. For the subsequent session, Mr. Reed began by returning our initial brief composition task. Mine featured crimson marks throughout. Too gentle, he remarked, striking the sheet at my station. Data initially, then sentiment. Individuals rely on data. I agreed. Post-session, he questioned my true goals in reporting. Larger narratives, I stated, not merely regional athletics and planning sessions, something significant. He rested against a table. Then ceased composing as if fearing disapproval, he declared, "Top efforts unsettle someone." That resonated. Funds grew scarce by the third week. Housing payment approached. I lacked sufficient from the publication to settle it since 2 tasks collapsed. Publisher messaged claiming freelance funds depleted this period. I surveyed my flat for sellable items. Ultimately pawned my aged computer, the one for my debut printed tale, and continued utilizing the outdated machine from university. Sluggish, noisy cooler, absent key, yet functional. Returning from the shop, I encountered Ben on the path. Initial encounter since the evening chaos erupted. He paused as if anticipating my words. "Austin," he uttered as though casual acquaintances reuniting. I merely stared. He fidgeted, palms in trousers. "Listen, pal, regarding that evening I proceeded beyond him wordlessly, avoided glancing rear. Seminars at the school intensified. Reed designated practical assignments. Question 3 individuals on a divisive subject. Transform into a 1,000-word article with distinct perspective. I selected a narrative on the municipality's intention to close a communal green space for fresh residences. Devoted 2 days traversing the area, conversing with locals, a municipal official, and a minor demonstration team. Submitted the article. Reed returned it the following week with merely 2 terms atop. Now this, that felt satisfying. At the fitness center that Friday, the most affordable locally, I encountered a fresh face. Named Marcus. Larger man, mid-30s, seemed like a former university athlete. He occupied the runner beside mine when he peered across. "You compose for the Tribune?" "Occasionally," I replied. He agreed, perused your green space article, decent. That's all he uttered. But subsequent citing, he lifted double my peak load and inquired my next project. When I admitted uncertainty, he grinned. "Typical, you appear unmotivated." I stayed silent, but it lingered. By month's close, I dropped 15 pounds from jogging and consuming budget options. My limbs ceased appearing flabby. Neighbors quit spotting fast food containers in refuse. But independent tasks remained erratic. Certain weeks, 2 pieces. Certain weeks, 0. One evening post-session, Reed halted me once more. "Still contributing to the Tribune?" "Occasionally," I replied. "Occasionally fails," he stated. "Submit your green space tale to the Chronicle, larger outlet. They might accept it. They lack familiarity with me." "Then ensure they do," he declared. Next dawn, I revised the green space piece, more precise now, and forwarded to the Chronicle. 2 days afterward, the publisher responded. They compensated twice the Tribune's rate and sought additional submissions. By week's close, I possessed a major outlet compensating me, Reed urging intensely, and Marcus at fitness behaving as if I required rivalry. For the initial occasion since Daisy's declaration, circumstances began feeling altered. Not positive yet, but altered. That evening, I returned from the transit halt carrying 2 sacks of provisions when I spotted her. Daisy. She stood exterior the eatery on Primary Road with 2 companions. I could discern from her glance at the provision sacks and the transit card protruding from my billfold that she prepared a remark. "Austin," she shouted as if distant pals rather than our current status. I halted since evading would appear inferior. She grinned, yet unfriendly. "Unaware you remained on 5th, assumed perhaps you'd advanced." I shrugged. "Location suffices." "Transit halt directly ahead, though," she remarked, angling her skull toward my recent disembarkation. "Assume the vehicle's still broken?" "Yes," I replied, "still broken." Her companions swapped glances as if amused. Daisy proceeded. "Caleb recently acquired a pre-owned Mustang. Not fresh, but operational." I agreed once. Denied her desired response. She folded her limbs, "So what's the strategy?" "Still composing on youth sports for $50. I adjusted the provision sacks. Presently, I replied. She chuckled, brief and cutting. "Certain elements endure, right?" I observed her then, truly observed. Vivid makeup, flashy coat. Identical arrogant chin angle. "Some evolve," I stated ultimately. Not invariably as anticipated. She dismissed with eyes. "Whatever, Austin, avoid seriousness. Merely casual conversation." "Certainly," I replied and departed. The Chronicle compensated for the green space tale on Friday. It lacked abundance, yet exceeded Tribune payments. The publisher concluded his message with forward additional if available. So I devoted the weekend pursuing tips. Regional enterprise closing due to escalating costs. A secondary instructor suspended over board silenced matter. A district grumbling on nocturnal building. I composed rapidly. No elaborate terms. Merely data, statements, and concise phrases. Dispatched 3 by Sunday dusk. Monday dawn, the Chronicle published 1 online. I viewed my credit atop and gazed momentarily. Seemed like the initial foundation for grandeur. At fitness that afternoon, Marcus was present. Large man, never missed. Always possessed this partial grin as if knowledgeable. You appear less reporter-like today, he remarked while adding discs to the rod. Unsure of meaning, I informed him. He gestured at my limbs. Implies you're committing effort. He lifted 3 discs effortlessly. I remained with 1. Between rounds, he inquired, composed anything substantial yet, or merely green space tailies. I described the enterprise closure, the instructor issue, the Chronicle selecting 1. He agreed. Fine, see if you manage heavier load and pressure. That's the beginning. Daily, he urged adding 5 pounds to the rod. Each encounter, he questioned my project as if competing. By midweek, the Chronicle messaged again. They desired the instructor tale also. That required 3 evenings. Discussions with guardians, pupils, a dissatisfied aide instructor who off-record revealed the man faced bias claims, nothing graver. It lacked enormity but attracted views. The publisher noted audience sought continuations. Seemed advancing. Then housing due again. The Chronicle compensated per submission, not fixed. Certain weeks positive, certain sluggish. I traversed everywhere, consuming cheapest, extending each cent. One Thursday, a submission got rejected because rival outlet published similar initially. No compensation, no recognition. Next week, Mr. Reed assigned fresh task. Compose a portrait on intriguing local figure. Not official or merchant. Ordinary person with narrative value. I chose retired rescuer named Don, who preserved 3 youths from Blaze in 90s. No recent coverage. He resided solo now, modest dwelling east side. I devoted 2 afternoons with him. He displayed vintage images, publication cuttings, awards stored in compartment. Mentioned avoiding Blaze discussions much because folks exaggerated. Merely performed duty, he stated. I composed the portrait direct. No embellishment, just Don. His phrases, his existence now, the Chronicle published Sunday. It spread wider than prior works. At Fitness Monday, Marcus hurled a hydration container mid-round. Viewed your rescuer item, he stated. Decent. Strong compliment, I replied. He grinned. Avoid ego inflation. You lift like novice. He added 2 discs to my rod unrequested. Time to harden, he stated. I almost faltered final lift but succeeded. That identical evening, I encountered Liam, an old school pal, exterior the market near my flat. We lacked contact months. He purchased beverage, inquired my status. Then casually he stated, heard Caleb's essentially surviving via Daisy now, guy's vehicle loan under her. He left tavern position. I disagreed. Yes, Liam stated. Few witnessed their dispute last weekend. Appears suboptimal. I avoided specifics. Merely stated typical, and dropped it. By month's close, I possessed 5 credits at Chronicle, Reed stating my composition finally precise, and Marcus urging weekly fitness peaks. But not all succeeded. 1 pursued tale, municipal finance problem, collapsed when primary contact ceased responses. Another publisher declined submission on Enterprise's post-pandemic struggles because, his terms, audience seeks fresh perspectives, not stale. Certain evenings I sat with 3 partial outlines, uncertain which merited dispatch. One evening post-session, Reed halted me exiting again. Submitting beyond Chronicle. Not yet, I replied. You ought, he advised. Grander venues compensate superior, and they'll respect you if ceasing grateful freelance demeanor. He provided email list for area periodical publishers. Submit worthwhile, he stated. Then departed. Or 2 weeks afterward, I dispatched 5 submissions. Devoted hours refining each, maintaining brevity and precision. 2 publishers ignored entirely. 1 returned single phrase, unfit. But Tuesday afternoon 1 answered, will accept housing demonstrations tale. Due Friday, compensation attached. The compensation tripled Chronicles. I remained awake 2 evenings completing that submission. Spoke to organizers, residents facing eviction, even municipal representative offering standard, we're considering choices phrase. Dispatched Thursday evening. Friday Dawn publisher replied, publishing Sunday. Solid effort. More upcoming. That marked initial external small town instant sounding genuine respect. Saturday Liam messaged and stated, spotting my credit in Chronicle and periodical online. Unaware you pursued reporting intensely, he composed. Necessary, I answered. We gathered for Java Monday. He handled promotion now. New folks requiring composers for firm journals, media statements. All dull material yet substantial compensation. Not flashy, he stated, but exceeds publications. I requested contacts. Housing remained monthly issue. I rejected nothing. Midweek, the periodical submission published. Lacked headline status but spread widest yet. A municipal audio show referenced briefly. Read mentioned in session. That's execution, he stated. Tossing printed submission onto my station. Transparent coverage. No filler. Maintain. He instructed class to peruse before next. Initial sensation, perhaps not squandering time there. At fitness, Marcus began exercising with me rather than mocking. He avoided direct, but I believe he valued commitment. 2 discs for multiples today, he stated one dusk. Adding loads effortlessly. No justifications, I achieved. Afterward he stated, still on minor topics, pursuing grander submissions, I informed him. Good, he stated, begin acting accordingly. That ranked longest phrase to me. Liam delivered promotion contacts. 2 minor enterprises needed site text. Dull, yes, but quick compensation. I completed both over weekend. By month's close, I possessed funds for housing, provisions, and settled mechanic to remove my failed vehicle from lot, because deciding repair or discard. Still unaffordable repair, but least absent as reminder. Meanwhile, Daisy reduced postings. Not direct check, but shared pals posted event images. She absent. One evening, Maya, silent since booth evening, sent brief note. Worth noting, I avoided laughing at you. Not all supported occurrence. I skipped reply. Needless reopening. Then reassigned largest task, a full-length narrative on desired topic, due monthly. Substantial, he stated. Avoid light. If meaningful to you, meaningful elsewhere. I lacked subject, but knew proper execution could secure grander placement. That task became 3rd feature sold to area periodical, published as session concluded. Next weekend, Liam requested charity 5K his firm backed. Solid connections, he stated. Merchants, media folks, even municipal leaders attend. I nearly skipped. My jogging footwear worn, but attended regardless. Mid-run, I paced beside woman maintaining steady. Dark hair tie, concentrated expression. Scarcely noticed until hydration point. You're the correspondent, correct? She inquired. I agreed. Perused your residence tale, she stated. You portrayed counsel foolishly. Simple, I informed her. She grinned. I'm Aaron, manage communications for charity. We require composer like that. We exchanged contacts pre-finish. And Daisy, learned via Liam, she and Caleb separated. Evidently, Caleb saw another throughout. Liam mentioned casually, like town chatter. He stated Daisy and Caleb parted weeks prior. Evidently, Caleb avoided monogamy. Saw another nearly whole duration with her. Server from alternate spot, fitness teacher, perhaps Daisy's pal based on rumor. Liam stated Daisy appeared changed recently, ceased image posts, skipped gatherings. Someone spotted extra cafe hours where she boasted life improvement. I heard, agreed once. Then shifted topic, because truthfully I lacked sympathy, not desiring her pain, not seeking payback. It was simply hollow. Like viewing end credits on indifferent film. Whatever Caleb performed, whatever chaos Daisy faced, irrelevant to me. That entrance secured months prior, felt nothing. 2 weeks post-charity run, Aaron messaged. Her charity needed fundraiser coverage, compose post-event for site and supporters. Compensated fairly. And crucially, she stated municipal leaders and merchants present. I accepted. Event at Central Community Hub Thursday evening. I questioned planners, a council lady, and merchant donating half prizes. Aaron navigated crowd familiarly. At close, she presented me to arts group leader needing quarterly bulletins. Forward samples, he stated, offering card. That's acceleration start. Same week, periodical accepting residents protest tale took another submission. This on rural publications closing, provided 2 weeks filing. Read halted post-session hearing. 2 weeks, genuine timeline, he stated. Arrange discussions quick. Avoid missing. I succeeded. Contacted publishers at 3 local outlets. Obtained statements on reductions, diminishing team, print demise. Composed entire in 4 days. Periodical headlined Monday dawn. Liam messaged afternoon. Pal, you're widespread recently. He composed. accompanied by article capture on social with 100 distributions. I wasn't widespread, but initial external narrow group actually perusing my efforts. The Chronicle messaged next day, inquiring weekly local matters segment, modest compensation but consistent. I agreed. Consistent meant housing settled calmly monthly. And Liam's promotion clients sent projects too. Item overviews, media announcements, journal entries. Dull, yes, but covered provisions as reporting expanded. One Saturday afternoon at cafe composing initial segment when Erin arrived. Unaware correspondence truly cafe'd well, she stated, placing beverage opposite. Independence due, I informed her. She chuckled. Our leader appreciated fundraiser submission. Desires retention for upcoming gatherings. Compensates superior than prior. I agreed. She peeked at my display. What's this? Municipal transit reductions next month. Captivating material, she stated, grinning. Someone must compose. Following week, the Chronicle published my debut segment with my name prominent atop. Not hidden page 5 like typical local. That evening, Maya messaged initially since chaos months prior. Viewed your segment. Congratulations, perhaps. I skipped reply. Months close, Reed mentioned area reporting meeting wanted speakers for digital era local coverage talk. He recommended me. They anticipate experts, I stated. You've credits in 3 outlets and segment, he answered. Cease pretending otherwise. I agreed pre-over analysis. At fitness, Marcus chuckled hearing panel, speaking publicly. Wager you stiffen. Likely, I stated. Then rehearse, he advised, adding load to my rod again. No respect for choker in key moments. 2 days afterward, Erin requested another connection gathering. This modest meal with charity leaders and merchants. I nearly declined due deadlines, but Liam labeled me foolish skipping. So attended. Position between youth athletics manager and lady owning 3 cafes. Both required aid for funding requests and sites. Both offered cards pre-suite. Erin smiled across, informed you'd value. Funds ceased tightness initially years, acquired fresh jogging footwear. Fixed fractured device display, even selected provisions without balance check first. One evening encountered Chris, the silent from former circle at fuel stop. Pal, he stated, you've occupied. Ben mentioned you're exploding or similar. Something similar, I informed him. He agreed. Worth noting, I avoided that Daisy matter. Seemed wrong, grateful, I stated. Then departed. That weekend, Liam forwarded social capture. Someone posted cafe image where my segment taped beside register. Description said, at last, local updates worth perusing. Beneath, spotted Daisy's approval. The reporting talk Thursday dusk at modest downtown hub. Nothing massive. Perhaps 60 in collapsible seats and inexpensive sign rear saying, Community Perspectives in Digital Era. I arrived early. Host provided name tag saying, Austin Hale, independent correspondent. Viewing name on tag felt odd. Year prior, I scarcely survived composing planning sessions for outlet paying $20 per. Now folks desired hearing local coverage like I understood. Other speakers older. One from area outlet, lady managing separate news platform and teaching expert from state school. I youngest by decade minimum. Host questioned local news funding issues, social platform effects, standard topics. My turn, I simplified. Folks desire authentic tailies, I stated, not announcements as updates. Covering municipal speak to residents impacted by choices. Audience trusts avoiding official tone. Few nodded. Experts smiled. Post-talk college youths approached on independence. One wanted magazine submission tips. Another, if worthwhile. I shared Reed's guidance, compose meaningfully, then dispatched till Reed. I packed notes when spotted her. Daisy. She positioned near entrance, hair trimmed, plain dull coat instead flashy online posts. She awaited student departure before approaching. Austin, she stated, like pals' grocery meeting. I merely observed. Can we converse? She inquired. On what? She paused. I've perused your material, you're succeeding greatly. I agreed, stayed silent. I wished apologizing, she stated ultimately, for that evening for all. I glanced at host packing wires nearby. Wrong location, I informed her. Then perhaps Java sometime? I disagreed. Occupied, her posture sagged like anticipated but desired alternate. Caleb and I separated, she added softly. Irrelevant, I stated. She prepared explanation but didn't. Momentarily, she agreed and departed. 2 days afterward, Ben messaged initially since chaos months prior. Hey pal, heard panel. Massive, we ought reunite sometime. I gazed message momentarily, then shut unreplied. That weekend, Erin's charity hosted another gathering. This fundraiser meal at Lodge Hall. She requested site coverage. Venue superior than recent months. Circular tables cloth-covered, suited folks, donor crowd. During meal, Erin presented Trevor managing area commerce periodical. He needed independence for entrepreneur portraits and minor firms. Compensated superior than publication tasks. Forward examples, he stated, offering card. Another opportunity. They began running 3 portraits as test segment to check reader interest. Monday at fitness, Marcus midway sets when arrived. Someone mentioned your talk, he stated between lifts. Yes, I informed him. He grinned. So now journalism representative. Barely. He secured rod and observed. Good, implies you push loads, not discuss. We achieved new lift record that evening. 2 discs and 25 each side. He assisted, but minimally. Tuesday dawn, Erin messaged. Viewed your talk online, appears strong. Ever considered full-time speaking? I hadn't. Composing one matter, addressing crowds different. Pre-reply, another message arrived. This from Daisy. Aware you avoid me, but proud viewing you there. Truly proud. I placed device down and continued afternoon due submission. Week's close, Liam requested bar birthday gathering downtown. Mentioned former members present. I nearly skipped but one beverage harmless. Ben present, Maya too. Neither spoke initial half hour, then Ben approached with 2 drinks. Listen, he stated, I acted foolish that evening, found amusing till not, ought supported you. I rejected drink, value apology I stated, but nothing on that now. He agreed like aware forgiveness absent one talk. Maya approached later. Worth noting, she stated, never believed you'd advance post that. Yes, I informed her. They didn't either. 2 days afterward, Daisy arrived at flat. I headed fitness when spotted her by steps. Please, Austin, she stated pre-pass. 5 minutes, only. I folded limbs, proceed. She appeared anxious, like unplanned. I believed desiring thrill. Caleb thrilled, but also deceiver, and poor, and evidently 3 other thrills simultaneous. I stayed silent. I erred, she proceeded. I recognize now. You constructed authentic, and I foolish ignoring. I checked time. Time expired. She appeared tearful, but didn't. Any possibility. No, I stated. You concluded that evening turning spectacle, nothing remaining discuss. She agreed gradually. Fine. I passed wordlessly, and reporting seminar concluded same week area periodical published 3rd feature. Mr. Reed returned final task sans marks this time. You grasped. He stated simply. I described incoming consistent tasks, spoken meeting, charity agreements via Erin, and area periodical providing regular now. He agreed, continue. Avoid halting because sufficient now, that final class citing. 2 days later met Trevor, commerce periodical publisher Erin presented. He desired 3 local innovator portraits next period. Compensated superior than others, we appreciate approach. He stated, straightforward, no filler, dispatch first monthly. Same afternoon, the Chronicle doubled segment rate. Ad income rose post-transit tail and desired retention. Initially years, I avoided monthly survival. Relocated from 5th flat to modest single-bedroom nearer center. Nothing elaborate but tidy, peaceful, and owned. Updates on Daisy and Caleb via Liam always. By Caleb departure from Daisy all new. He claimed her vehicle depleted her funds, then vanished with Jim Girl. Harder wasn't departure, it was aftermath. Liam stated Daisy returned sisters, ceased posts, skipped gatherings. Folks once chuckling avoided invites now. Nobody enjoys regret beside fun. I avoided details, unneeded, post-test, commerce periodical permanized segment, assigning fresh innovators monthly. Erin's charity offered yearly.